in about.
All right, welcome back. We're live right now. The Beast is leaving the White House with Donald Trump in it. He's heading to
is known as the Beast.
Okay, talk to me about that.
All right,
Congressional
so many
chambers.
times when you cover the president, you get to see the Beast up close, and the doors have got to be this thick. You realize what he's really traveling in is like a tank. It is designed to protect the president. And of course, one of the things about the Beast is whenever the president travels in it, all the streets shut down. You see what life is like without traffic.
We're listening to
stranded motorists
Associated
on the other
Propaganda.
side. Now, during Joe Biden's presidency,
Lauren Boebert just entered the building, and which is interesting, Benny Johnson's here doing the Benny propagandist, BuzzFeed plagiarist Johnson is in the Capitol building. Mr. Superstar, Mr. I can't have my head up Donald Trump's derriere any further. We will be reporting the State of the Union address. That is a beautiful building. That's the Rotunda in Washington's District of Criminals.
I see this room, and I just wish I had a lectern to grab two. I just feel like I gotta do the meeting.
So we're going back over here. Donald Trump again has left the White House. He's heading over to deliver his State of the Union speech. In case you don't know, the first State of the Union was delivered by Woodrow Wilson in 1913, right before the bringing online and the decimating of the American dollar by the Federal Reserve, the international banking cartel. His speech was 28 minutes long. Trump's typical speech is 120 minutes long. And the theme of today's State of the Union is the renewal of the American dream. And of course, it is the American dream because you got to be asleep to believe it. Let's go back to AP, the Associated Propaganda.
On U.S. allies, people who
Thank you guys
fought
for
with
being
the
here.
U.S. in World War II, Afghanistan, have stood by the U.S. and is siding, and this was a key criticism by Trudeau, with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, who Trudeau basically called a murderer.
We're going to go back to Benny propaganda here. Benny plagiarist, and I say plagiarist because he was
Right straight down the National Mall. So Donald Trump will be, they've already closed the streets down. Donald Trump will be rolling from the White House straight down Pennsylvania Avenue, right there. And of course, maybe you can see the Washington Monument, but
Benny feels so important.
It's a gorgeous view straight down the mall.
The self-importance and arrogance of these people is crazy to me.
Soon. It's going to be rowdy. We'll be live here inside the Capitol building. Rock and roll. An exciting time for us. We just
God, these people make me sick, man. They make me sick because they uphold the left versus right paradigm nonsense that keeps people embroiled and immersed and popping the pills of hopium. Who's this? Isn't that let's see if we can point out some people here. There's Byron Daniels just entered the room there. This is a live feed right here.
Involved in the tariff disputes that you've been reporting so much about, Mexico and Canada.
The speech is supposed to start in 24 minutes.
And also China.
So you haven't missed anything yet.
Although, look, we also saw a potential takeover of Greenland that President Trump wanted to do. The point is, on the foreign policy realm, there is always something with him. And we see an expansionary and a go-it-alone.
You know what I think of when I think of the State of Union address? I think of, do you remember a guy named Dennis Hastert? Put a 1 in the room if you remember Dennis Hastert. He was the Speaker of the House for 8 years under the Bush presidency. And the guy was, you can read it. Let me see if I can find it here. What did the judge call him? A serial child M? We can't say it. Let's see. Yeah. Look at this. This is USA Today. I don't know if USA Today is going to let me read this. Yeah, you got to have a subscription. Oh, Oh, it's letting me read it. Oh, here we go. Let me bring it over here to Firefox. Check this out. So when I think of the State of the Union address, yeah, exactly, guys. Exactly. A PDF file. He was into he was a PDF file. The judge sentences serial child M. Hastert to 15 months. This guy was second in line for 8 years. Second in line to be the president of the United States. There are pictures of him sitting behind George W. Let me see if I can. Oh man, what did it do? What did it do? I wanted to read this. Let's just pull up Dennis Hastert. This is stuff that no Republican's going to tell you. Let's see. Let me put up State of the Union. Such a joke. Yeah. So here's let me get my picture out of the way. Here is Bush speaking, and you got Dick Warmonger Cheney here, and you got Tricky Dick, and you've got Dennis Hastert, second in line to become the president. If the president died and the vice president died, Dennis Hastert would have been the president of the United States. And this guy says a federal judge was a serial child M. I want to apologize to the boys I mistreated, Hastert said. They looked up to me. I took advantage of them. Former House Speaker. And this right here, this to me blows a hole in the entire deception known as politics. Do you think that being a PDF file was relegated only to Dennis Hastert? Think about it. He was this close as Speaker of the House to being the president of the United States if anything happened to those first two guys. And how do we know the same thing doesn't apply to George W. or George H.W.? It very well could, or Dick Cheney, or to Barack Obama, or to Joe Biden. It very well could. We just don't know it yet. And why won't they release all of the Epstein files? Maybe because there's so many people that would be implicated, including your orange savior, that it would make your head spin. Ain't nobody going to be talking about this tonight on the State of the Union address. Ain't nobody going to be talking about how many people love PDF files. Not many. You're not going to have Steven Crowder ain't going to talk about. Let's see who's doing this live. I won't get very many viewers tonight. You got Tim Young totally up the derriere of Donald Trump. It's just disgusting. You got the Daily Wire. They got 10,000 viewers. Tim Young has 14,000 viewers. Tim Pool has 33,000 viewers. And Alex Jones has 716,000 viewers. Propagandist Alex Jones. Did you ever think that Alex Jones would be pushing for and supporting and propagandizing for the globalists? And yet here he is daily promoting Mr. UBI, Universal Basic Income, Mr. Carbon Tax, Mr. Neuralink, Elon Musk.
Let's go back. Often these responses are not.
We got the VP, Mr. Palantir, in the house right now. Let's see.
Rubio, who was had remarks that were widely parodied because of.
Yeah, don't forget when you're looking at JD Vance, you are looking at a guy who was funded and brought into the spotlight and the limelight by a globalist named Peter Thiel, who owns Palantir Technologies. And what is Palantir Technologies known for? Anyone? 5 points in your next spelling test if you can tell me how significant Palantir Technologies is, and that we have a vice president that's actually a puppet for Palantir Technologies and the global elite. We will see. Yes, it is a puppet show. Alex Jones used to talk about sea trails. Now he does so no longer. Got Nancy Mace here. JD Vance. Shaking hands with Nancy Mace.
Congress.
Exactly. In a sense, Democrats, we can see Nancy Mace
exactly,
in
guys.
South Carolina.
And she's talking to the vice president. They seem to be having a great time together. But she's very persistent.
By the way, thank you for your support. If you want to support this channel, you can do it for free. Just give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. If you think this content is worthy of your support and worthy of your subscription and worthy of you sharing, please don't. If you don't think it is worth it, if you think I'm not speaking the truth, because truth fears no scrutiny. You don't hide when somebody wants to hold you accountable. You don't hide when there's an inconvenient truth that might make you feel uncomfortable. So if you think we're doing the truth over here, that's the way you can support. It's free. Subscribe, like, share. We're broadcasting tonight on High Impact Flicks Official on Rumble, on High Impact Flicks on the X platform, and on the Disturbing Illusion on YouTube. It's going to be, what do you think Donald Trump's going to say? How many times do you think he's going to say that he's a friend of Israel? How many times do you think he's going to down Zelensky? It'd be interesting to see how the Democrats are going to react, even though the Democrats and the Republicans are playing for the same team owners. All right, what do we got
in
here?
the ring to be vice president.
We got
He became one of
17 minutes.
Fiercest advocates after ending his own campaign. And I live in South Carolina and have been reporting there for about.
Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciated that. No, I appreciate that. Let's see what Benny Johansson
military
is saying. We'll
be there,
Johnson.
listening to the commander-in-chief. Ready to rock. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means we are literally.
This is the world we live in, guys.
Minutes.
He's got 50,000 people watching him just on his YouTube channel. 50,000 people. He started streaming 94 minutes ago. It's amazing to me what people will fall for. It's easier to deceive the masses, and it will always be easier to deceive the masses than to convince them that they've been deceived. What's up, Bakishmil? Rathgar's here. Sacramento Lynn. Don Faze. Modern Retro Radio. What's up, man? The Truth Matters. Nitzad. What's up, man?
Secretary of Agriculture. Sorry. You got me like screaming the entire stream. I've been screaming offline. You got the Secretary of Ag.
And another thing that kills me is Benny Johnson. Not only is he a rich dude, not only does he have access to the White House, not only is he popular on YouTube and all the other social media streaming platforms, but this guy gets major donations. This guy is going to get thousands of dollars just in super chats tonight, YouTube super chats.
You know, we always see those kinds of
Mike
things
Johnson
happen in
and
unison,
JD Vance
pretty much for these big addresses.
sitting behind the desk, which will be behind Donald J. Trump. Donald red flag gun confiscation law Trump. Remember, we need to call it like it is, guys.
That is JD Vance's wife, Usha.
Donald red flag gun confiscation law Trump. Are you talking about Donald, father of the VA XX Trump? Because that's what we're talking about, right? Donald, biggest power and wealth transfer in world history Trump. Not going to hear that from the Tim Pools of the world. Not going to hear that from Tim Young. You're not going to hear that from, who's that other guy? Mike Cernovich. Not going to hear it from Anomaly. He's got what? How do we substantiate that?
Good to know.
Pump and dump Trump.
Keeping that real estate market hot here in Washington.
Let's look at a couple things here while we're waiting for Trump to get in. The CEO of Target says you will pay more because of Trump's tariffs within days. Now, whether you think he's a Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter to me. The question is, are we going to see higher prices? Let me go ahead and mute this right here. It says prices for fruits and vegetables are likely to rise within a matter of days thanks to President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on products from Mexico, Target CEO said today. Speaking after 25% duty on products from Mexico and Canada took effect, Brian Cornell told NBC, which is nothing but crap, Squawk Box, that during the winter months, the retail giant relies heavily on Mexico for fresh produce like strawberries, bananas, and avocados. Here's what he said, quote, "Those are categories where we'll try to protect the pricing, but the consumer will likely see price increases over the next couple of days." And this ain't just going to be from Target. It's going to be from Walmart. It's going to be from all your big box stores, including hardware stores like Lowe's and Home Depot. Anything that's got a tariff associated with will result in higher prices for the consumer. That's how it works. That's how tariffs work. The companies pay for it. If the companies have to pay for it, then they hand it down to the end user, and that's you, the consumer. If there's a 25% tariff, those prices will go up. And that's just the world we live in, man. That's the world we live in. Let's go back to here. We got 13 minutes. Lisa Gordon, thank you very much. They have poo on their noses, Brian. I like facts and honesty. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You guys, your support means everything. We are independently funded. We are independent news, and we do have an agenda. The agenda is truth, no matter what. No matter what. No matter whose feelings it hurts, no matter what party it decimates, no matter what paradigm is shattered, truth is all that matters. Wow, it's filling up. It's filling up pretty good. I was expecting there'd be a lot of empty seats. There's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, remember, guys, when Bacchus Mill's in the room, he's just being sarcastic. He's not for Trump. He doesn't want a UBI and a robot puppy. He's being sarcastic. Appreciate you being here, Bacchus Mill. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a grifter, no doubt. All these people are. This is a room full of welfare recipients, guys. Just keep in mind, every seat that's filled is a minimum of $174,000 for the base congressman. That's what the American people are being plundered to the tune of. 535 times $174,000, and that doesn't count all of their additional benefits. That's how disgusting this whole thing is. And if you want to see the biggest cult in the world, you're looking at it. You are looking at what Larkin Rose calls the most dangerous superstition. The idea that there are people in government, agents of government, who have a higher claim over your life and property than you, and you are obligated to obey their rulership. Matter of fact, it's right in their eyes for you to obey them, and it's wrong for you to disobey them. And if you disobey them, they believe that you can be and should be rightly punished. Let's see what Benny Plagiarist Johnson is talking about here.
Are you for education opportunity for your children? Are you for peace through strength? And 80 to 85, are you for there being two genders? You know, are you for not, sexualizing our kindergartners? 85 to 90% of Americans are for our agenda. And yet
I don't know who this chick is that he's
on theirs. So listen, we're building a big tent, Benny. We are building the infrastructure for the next 100 years. We got to keep freedom and liberty front and center, and our founders' vision of a constitutional America.
Anybody know who this chick is?
Possible, including the American dream, which I think you'll hear about a little bit more today.
Our founders, our farming founders.
Our farming
the
founders.
Farming founders.
They're the farming founders.
From the Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, who's amazing. More steak. We love it. More steak. We can't wait to cheer you on.
God, I can't stand this guy. I cannot stand this guy. We've got, let's see, we're
also,
sitting
a
at.
few moments ago, we caught a glimpse of Elon Musk, who is indeed there in the House chamber. I believe he was.
There's Laura Trump,
on the
Don. I thought that was Laura
somewhere
Trump. Don Jr.
Balcony.
There's Laura Trump, Eric Trump.
But perhaps we will see him again in a moment. Again, not an official member of the government.
Got all the cool kids there. All the cool kids are in the house. Okay, so what we got here is. Here's the live stream right here. We got 483. Unbelievably, High Impact Flicks has 483 live viewers on the X platform. The next biggest would be, there's Alex Stein right there, Ethan Ralph. Oh, good. Last American Vagabond. You definitely want to check him out. He's got good stuff. The Quartering. All these people, not Last American Vagabond. And I don't know about Ethan Ralph, but definitely Alex Stein is... he needs to peel Donald Trump's derriere cheeks off of his face. He's so far up there. Same with the Quartering. Most of these people, Luke Rudowski, 3.6 thousand viewers. Wouldn't it be hilarious if High Impact Flicks hopscotched over all these people? I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be pretty cool if it did. Let's see.
Something about some of the
got Bloomberg in there
that this initiative faces.
Very interesting.
Amy
O'Malley, of course, who
Klobuchar.
also recently ran for DNC chair.
Got the Trumps. There's Kash Patel. Where are the documents, Cash? Where's all the new Epstein files, Cash? Haven't you gotten with Pam Bondi, Cash? Where's all this stuff at? Why haven't you dissolved or helped to dissolve the ATF by now, and helped dissolve the un-American FBI?
The chair appoints as members of the committee on the part of the House to
Here we go.
escort the President of the United States into the chamber the following.
Here we
The
go.
gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain. The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore. The gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Clark. The gentleman from California, Ms.
You know, I see that who's in here? Zach is in here. Hey, Zach, I want you to know I saw the interview, if you want to call it an interview, with that Jim Bob guy. What I saw, okay, I only watched like 10, 15 minutes of it, but what I saw, you really kept your cool. And in keeping your cool, you didn't need to help anybody understand that guy was just acting like a total fool, not allowing you to talk. It was just ridiculous. I hate seeing stuff like that. So bravo and hats off to you for keeping your cool. I thought that was being the better person, let's say.
Mrs. Capito. The senator from South Carolina, Mr. Scott. The senator from New York, Mr. Schumer. The senator from Illinois, Mr. Durbin. The senator from Minnesota, Ms. Klobuchar. The senator from New Jersey, Mr. Booker. The senator from Wisconsin, Ms. Baldwin.
The members of the Escort Committee will exit the chamber through the lobby doors.
God, this is such a church service. It's so disgusting. Oh, this whole thing just makes me want to...
We will leave you now to watch as the joint session of Congress gets ready to hear from President Donald Trump, set to make his address here in just moments. We will bring you the entirety of his remarks live, as well as the Democratic response to follow. And we will be back with you shortly to discuss all of these remarks, as well as perhaps hear live from members of Congress and get their reaction. So we will leave you to listen in at this moment, and we will be back with you after the president's joint address.
Now, let me tell you what to expect. When Trump starts speaking, I'm not going to be interrupting. We're just going to kind of watch this together. I'll probably be making faces because he's going to say some really off the wall, stupid crap like he always does, like Biden always did. So that's what we're going to do. It's supposed to start in 6 minutes. And I'm just going to be writing down some timestamps. Man, if I got like 50 pens on my desk and not one of them works well. Let's see. Let me see here. Jeff O'Donnell, what's up, man? Eric Farmer's here. 878 on my StreamYard. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, there ain't no way we're going to move on up this chain. There's 560 now. I don't know who Dave Snedeker is in the Matrix. I don't know who that is. Ethan Ralph. Be interesting if we could. Yeah, she's going to overtake me. Everybody likes Christy Mayer. Ramsey Paul's going to hopscotch over me. Dr. Shiva's doing one. Looks like everybody's wanting to cover this, but man, I'm telling you, very few people are going to be covering it from the anti-left versus right paradigm lie. You know, it's very simple what we need to do. We need to stop imagining that people have power over us, legitimate power. As long as people continue to imagine that somebody has the right to rule them, there's no way to make headway. Let's see, Benny Plagiarist Johnson here. By the way, I call him Benny Plagiarist Johnson because I can't remember what year it was, but he worked for BuzzFeed for some time, and BuzzFeed ended up firing him for 41 occurrences of plagiarism, to which he did own up to and apologize back on the Twitter platform years ago. He was using other people's work to write his articles.
They're laughing their asses off. And
God, I just can't. It's hard for me to listen to some people. He's one of them. Put a one in the room. Actually, put a two in the room if listening to Benny Johnson is like worse than nails on the chalkboard. The Supreme Court justices, the black robe tyrants of the Supreme Court coming into the chamber. The anti-gun crowd. God, aren't you thankful? God, another pen that doesn't work. Aren't you thankful that I gotta find a pen? Aren't you thankful you are not in the cult of personality? I'm gonna have to resort to a pencil. Look at all these pens I got. Not one of them works. Let's see. Maybe this one will work. This is crazy. Supreme Court justices just came in. J.D. Vance and Johnson, Speaker of the House Johnson, are behind the desk. Oh, here we go. I got one. All right. Top Rock is here. Doctor and AZ. Mandatory myocarditis is here. Lead they follow. Truck Bros. Thanks for being here, guys. We're just going to watch the State of the Union. If you missed it, the first State of the Union was in 1913. Speaker Woodrow Wilson spoke only for 28 minutes. Donald Trump will probably speak 100 minutes beyond that. His average speech time is 120 minutes. The theme for tonight's State of the Union is the renewal of the American dream. And as George Carlin said, aptly enough, it's called the American dream because you got to be asleep to believe it. So welcome to the Disturbing Illusion. Jeff Cesario. Benny loves the Johnson. Matrix Abandoned. What's up? Silver Sailors here. Patriot 45. We're supposed to be 1 minute from the entrance of Trump. Will he be fashionably late? We will see. But I'm surprised that there aren't more empty seats than there are right here. I would have figured the Democrats would have boycotted. Yeah, I agree. I do not disagree with that, out of sync. I do not disagree with that. AP gets a $10 super chat. AP's got like a gazillion super chats. By the way, if you want to become, oh, you know what? I don't think you can become a member on this channel yet. I don't have that. I don't have that enabled yet. Put a 1 in the room if you're interested in becoming a member. We got to get the truth out. See, look at that, Christy. All these people totally hopscotch me, man. Look at that. I'm such a little fish in a big ocean. Oh, guess who's hosting? Oh, we got to look at this. Can I look at this? Brandon Tatum.
Mike Jones. And I asked the question before we got.
You can't get more up the anal canal than Brandon Tatum. That's for sure. Okay, what did I say? 1 in the room if you didn't be interested in becoming a member. Okay, I will try to make memberships available. And like on my other channel, here's the deal. It's only going to be like $3 a month, $2.99 or whatever. And like today, I put out 3 or 4 videos on this channel. And on the Here's the Deal channel, I put out 1 video. So you're going to get at least 30 videos a month because I put out a video every single day. Most days, multiple videos. So yeah, if you're interested in becoming a member, let me know. And I will set that up. I really appreciate what I hate about this platform is they take 30, I think it's 40%. They take 40% right off the top. Brandon Tatum, who's that? That's this guy right here. He's former police officer Brandon Tatum.
I would say repeal the Second Amendment.
By the way, if you haven't seen my street interviews, pretty interesting people I've run into. And let me know, because I plan on hitting the street again, me and Trish doing some more street interviews. And if you got Brandon Tatum, and if you have, holy cow, this guy's got almost 3.5 million subscribers now. It's been a long time since I've seen his stuff. But this is Brandon Tatum right here, total rightist, completely wants to immerse his audience in the left versus right paradigm lie, which is completely destructive. So that's crypto. That's who Brandon Tatum is. Guys, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to participate in this live stream. I don't attack people to attack them, okay? I attack their ideas. I attack their suppositions. For example, Brandon Tatum believes that it's okay for an old, like 40-year-old, 30, 40, 50-year-old adult to hop on top of a little twig stick figure kid and beat him in the chest. And what does he call that? He calls it softening him up. Because there was this cop that only because he was trading tobacco products on a street corner, the cop got on top of this little kid and just started punching him in the chest. And Brandon Tatum said he's okay with that. You know what sucks about that is Brandon Tatum is actually advocating for child abuse as long as the abuser is wearing a badge, uniform, and a gun and coming with the perceived authority of the state. I'm not down with that. You know why? It's wrong. Number one. And number two, if a cop was driving down the street and he saw you in your own front yard doing that to your own kid, he would get out of his cop car, he'd put you under arrest, and he'd take you down, and rightly so. But it's somehow okay for a cop to do that to somebody else's kid? Unfrickin' believable. And that's not all I have against Brandon. I call him Brandon Soften Him Up Tatum, because I will never forget what he's all about. I will never forget what he thinks of children. I will never forget what he thinks about the power he thinks that law enforcement should have. Melania Trump is coming in. Oh, Melania, we love Melania. We love Melania. Don't forget to buy Melania's book. It's a wonderful book. I haven't read one word out of it, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Melania Trump.
Yeah.
Is it a man or a woman, though? I just don't know. Oh, I just don't know, Schmitty. I just don't know. So I'm sure Donald Trump is on his way. She accidentally tucked her scarf in her belt there. I don't know if you saw that.
Speaker,
Here we go.
The president's cabinet.
Oh, here we go. The president's cabinet. They're going to change things. There's Pete. No divine spark. And what kills me when the president comes out, I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican. I mean, there's just they just continue to clap. There's little Marco. We don't like little Marco. Marco made fun of me. What was it? Marco Rubio. How many times did he call Donald Trump in 2016 a con man? This lets you know that either he was lying then or he knew he didn't mean what he was saying and therefore he was still lying, being completely disingenuous. I mean, what's going on? If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about politics. Little Marco Rubio, I hate his guts. We're going to beat him. We're going to beat him in the primary. Little Marco. God, we should be playing. Oh, gosh, I wish I had queued up all the times that all these people were against each other. Now, all of a sudden, they love each other. It's just, they just love each other. Let's see. Little Marco. Okay, here we go. This is Marco Rubio.
I bet you all know, you all have friends. You all have friends that are thinking about voting for Donald Trump. Friends, do not let friends vote for con artists.
There you go. There you go. Oh, he said it way more than that. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There's more than this. Donald Trump is a con artist. Here he is right here. We must put an end to this lunacy. He's a lunatic con artist, says Marco Rubio.
Senator Marco Rubio is with us now. Senator, good.
There's a reason we're playing this is because Marco Rubio is now in Donald Trump's cabinet, and Marco Rubio called. Look at this. Is that Matt Lauer? God, this is old. How old is this? 9 years old.
Substantive issue
Let's hear.
attack on the.
Let's hear.
He reminds everyone has done very well in the early states, and we're on the verge of having someone take over the conservative movement and the Republican Party who's a con artist. He's out there telling people that he's fighting. He's going to, his target audience is working Americans who are really struggling over the last few years in this economy.
Listen again.
States, and we're on the verge of having someone take over the conservative movement and the Republican Party who's a con artist.
Name one person who's going to be covering the State of the Union tonight that's going to tell you like it is, that's going to expose the facade of politics and politicians.
He's out there telling people that he's
Everybody just wants to pretend like this never happened. I'm so glad we have video. I'm so glad we have digital photography. I'm so glad we have the internet.
fighting. He's going to, his target audience is working Americans who are really struggling over the last few years in this economy. But he has spent a career sticking it to working Americans.
And I understand.
And
I'm
that's what
just
we pointed
asking
out.
more.
Marco Rubio says that Donald Trump has spent his career sticking it to working Americans. That con artist, Rubio says.
Specifically, you've said you don't want to criticize other Republicans. You said that over and over again. But was it the strategy to wait to the last minute so that it's fresh in the minds of voters on Tuesday?
No, it was that was when the
Exactly,
debate
Top Rock.
is. And number two, as he reminds everybody over and over, he's doing well in the polls. So I admit I'm an underdog. I ask people to join my effort at marcorubio.com so we can put a stop to this lunacy. We are not
Lunacy. We've got to put a stop to the lunacy. And what lunacy does he want to put a stop to? He wants to put a stop to the lunacy called Donald Trump, who he calls a con man.
I bet you all know. You all have friends. You all have friends that are thinking about voting for Donald Trump. Friends, do not let friends vote for con artists.
Friends don't let friends vote for con artists. And yet here, Marco Rubio, little Marco Rubio is now in the cabinet, Trump's cabinet. Unfreaking believable. Oh, RFK, who all of his life, how many times has he funded the Hillary Clinton, the Bill Clinton campaign? How many times? Now we got him as the head of the HHS. Murphy, thank you so much. Make AI technology safe again. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you guys for being here. We've got 1,284 on the big screen for StreamYard. We are going to call balls and strikes. Let's see where we're at on the old. Oh, holy cow. You guys. Whoa, you guys brought us up to 879. You brought us up to 879. Still way down on the list. Number 1 is Alex Jones. Number 2 is Tim Pool. You think Tim Pool is going to remind us that our current Secretary of State, little Marco Rubio, called Donald Trump a con man? You think Alex Jones is going to do that? No, they would have to betray their gravy train. They'd have to jump off their gravy train. They ain't interested in doing that. Yeah, make America exactly, Anastar. Make America smart again. Oh man, thank you. Oh, thank you for saying that, Silver. I just bought you some coffees. You should get alerts to pop up. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Hold on one second. Let me get my phone. That's a good idea. In the description of this video, there are, you can do the buy me a coffee thing. I've got let's see, media assets. Yeah, in the upper right hand corner right now, you can there's the buy me a coffee thing. We can do the Cash App. I don't know if I can do 2 at one time, though. Let's see. Open image in new tab. Yeah, there's the buy me a coffee. I can only put 1 up, but thanks for the buy me a coffee, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I was going to say is when you do a super chat or you become a member of this channel, they take like 30 or 40%, which is ridiculous. Adams is a Masonic shill? Who? Mike Adams? Mike Adams, until a month ago, except for August 2021, absolutely bought into GERM theory, and he's still a right statist. Man, that's, you know what? Wow. I don't know what to say about that. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my phone so that if you guys do some buy me a coffees or Cash Apps, I'll call you out. I'll be right back. Zach says, be careful on X. I got deleted off of the platform on January 27th for calling out the salute. Years of what? Are you serious? I did not know that, Zach. Are you still banned off of the X platform? Did you have to? I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. sure, baby. High protein snack. I love you. All right, I'm back. Thanks, guys. Let's see. I forgot to turn my mic off. Cesario says, oops, as men in suits toast by pouring of the blood of grapes while men in uniform pour their blood out on the battlefield. Yeah, I know. Truly is disgusting. It is a warfare state. What's up, Dark? Dark is here. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Let me see. What do we got here? There's Pam. There's Pam. I don't have any extra on the Epstein files, Bondi. Oh, here we go. Trump's coming in. Oh, boy. It's going to get ridiculous.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Ooh, yay, President. Alex, thank you for the Cash App donation. Crypto King, thank you for the 3 copies. Jay Thor, thank you for the copies. Lost in Wonder, appreciate the buy me a copies. And Roland. Yeah, this is disgusting, guys. Yeah, it is the U.S. corporation. Remember, the DNC and the RNC are corporate entities, and they're run through corporate structures. So every representative of the DNC or RNC are corporate representatives. They're not representatives of the United States, or actually, they're not representatives of Americans. They are representatives of the United States. And the United States means, according to Title 28, Section 300215A, a federal corporation. I can guarantee you that nobody who's covering the State of the Union tonight, on the left or the right, is talking about Title 28, Section 300215A. The United States means federal corporation. He is basically the CEO of the federal corporation, at least the figurehead puppet for the CEO of the federal corporation. Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, it's like, it's just ridiculous. It's like, you got to be kidding me. No, nobody deserves that. No human being deserves that. Oh, we're at 1,000, man. We're right below Ethan Ralph and Ramsey Paul and Aaron Day. Aaron Day's a good one. Oh, Mario just started. He's going to have 20-something thousand viewers. Exactly what the Democrats do. You know what they're saying? Title 28, Section 3002. Remember, the theme for tonight is the renewal of the American dream. The renewal of the American dream. All right, let's listen. Thank you for being here, guys. Grab your popcorn, take your seat. The show's about to begin. Abso-frickin-lutely, Murphy. Abso-frickin-lutely. Don't you hate it when they do that? When they come out of the audience, they point to somebody like they actually know them. That's what they do. It's hilarious. Thank you, man. My baby got me some egg bites. Look at that. Made them homemade.
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
yeah, by the way, Pam Bondi has also misread flag law from being the AG in Florida. She's disgusting. Thanks, Murphy.
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
So shallow. Oh my God. There's going to be 30 minutes of solid applause. Wow. It's like a high school pep rally.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. Thank you. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
We predicted that he would say that. He's gonna go over all of his Victories.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Tell me this isn't a disgusting pep rally. Look at this. Look at Nancy Mace here. Wow. What a bunch of kids.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
Oh, here we go. Ratings.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Oh, you know that. You knew this was going to happen.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Yeah, you knew this was going to. This is totally WWE, guys. Totally WWE. It is a clown show. Wow.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Got to take those unprecedented. Look, Trump's like, oh, yeah, just like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. I got to love it. This makes for good TV. This is beautiful, fantastic TV. I know, right, Mike? What's up, Delete Laws? Thanks for being here.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record, to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
I wonder if he'll have Zelensky come and dance for us in tight pants, tight, shiny pants.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Now, if Trump came up with a cure for the woke mind virus, maybe they would cheer for him. Right, Elon? Elon, is that right, Elon? Oops.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
That's a good manipulative line right there. Look, there's the Democrats. Save Medicaid. Musk steals. Protect veterans. I thought it said protect virgins.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
This is a dog and pony show. I agree, Jeffrey.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
Can we withdraw from Israel and the Federal Reserve and the IRS? Can you withdraw us from the roles of the income tax, please?
All of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
Yes, that would be good, but to what end? Who benefits from that?
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. we ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Except on college campuses when you're criticizing ISRA, HE double hockey sticks. Except that.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Oh my God. Well, you got the pen out. There's something called the income tax. Could you spare a dime?
Likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
How does that affect the price of eggs?
Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska.
How does that lower my grocery bill?
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
Yeah, we should have never had that in the first place, for sure.
And our country will be woke no longer.
You got to admit, this is, I mean, as long as they're leading us down the path of tyranny, you might as well laugh.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Allowed us to do so? Come on. Come on. Words have meaning.
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Oh, come on. Pan over to the Democrats. Yeah, there it is. Look at the Democrats. Nancy Pelosi has her Ukraine flag or something. What's up with that? Wow.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Isn't that pathetic that you got to do that? Red team versus blue team BS. Yep, exactly, Wes.
Three years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
They shouldn't have federal funding to begin with, guys. That's just such a scam. They're throwing us peanuts.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Holy cow, Jack. Thank you for that super chat, man. Good to see you too. That's crazy, man. $20. Thank you very much.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Where does inflation come from, Trump? Where does it come from? It comes from the Federal Reserve diluting the money supply. That's where it comes from. Do something about that. That'll be substantial.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Yeah, exactly. 6.2 trillion.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
You know, eggs are the poor man's protein. It's pretty insidious what they're actually doing with the money supply and with the bird flu and what they're doing with the manipulation of egg prices.
We have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that super chat.
As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Thank you, Brett. Hey, because of you, we got 1.3 thousand watching on
My
X.
administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Zach says eggs are a great source of testosterone, something they don't want in men.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
That would be a good thing. That would be a good thing if he did that. It would be good. Not going to do it. Give him billions to Israel, though.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
Let's see the Democrats. Come on, we got to look at the Democrats.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Elon loves the press. He loves the coverage. He loves the exposure. Did you see the hand sign? Why did he didn't even have to do that.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
By the way, all this stuff is approved by Congress.
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
The cameraman is doing a great injustice by not focusing on the Democrats.
Indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova.
The cameraman should be panning on the Democrats right now.
Circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program.
I mean, it's
$20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Oh my God.
A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning.
Thank you, Chad.
I don't know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Not even close to $1 trillion, like Feminazi Slayer saying. He's still billions and billions, tens of billions away from trillions. Guys, this doesn't scratch the surface of the malfeasance and the fraud that the federal government has been foisting on the rest of us for
and we've taken
decades.
Back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things.
No, that's not Ann
Taken
Coulter
back a
next
lot
to
of that money.
Elon.
We got it just in time. This is just the beginning.
Wait.
The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
Thank you, Chili. Thank you, Delete Loss.
It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly.
Exactly. Fraud should mean jail time.
3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country.
I don't think
than
a lot
I
of
thought,
this,
Bobby.
I don't think a lot of this fact checks, guys. I've looked into this. There's some layers of understanding that you need to apply to this, and you wouldn't arrive at the same conclusion. There's bigger fish to fry. There's way bigger fish to fry. Let's talk about the billions that have been given away to Israel.
To finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country.
Josiah Young, you're funny.
But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Presidents can't do that. Presidents can't do that. The owners and controllers of presidents do that. Thank you, Jack. Guys, thanks for being here.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
Last time it was balanced, I think, was under Clinton, wasn't it? Wasn't he the last balanced budget president?
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to
Come on,
destroy
cameraman.
our country, We will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Come on, cameraman. That was your cue to key in on the Democrats, man. Oh, my God. Give me the camera behind Trump. What's wrong with this guy?
Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals
That's
that
true.
should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
By the way, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average for the last 5 days. It's down almost 5%, down 2,000 points.
Any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Says the puppet of Miriam Adelson, 140 million, guys. Yeah, he didn't drain it last time. He filled it.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
God, politics is so divisive, man. Thank you, Cody. Politics is divisive. It's dehumanizing. It's demoralizing.
It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
How about no tax on anything? How about no tax? If you can do no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, do no tax on anything. Rein in government spending. No property tax, no income tax. You'll become the most.
I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
This is such BS. This is such BS.
And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Lynn, it's 10 million more than that per day. It's 69 million a day for NASA. Get rid of it. Get rid of NASA.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
There you go. Named it terribly. Named it.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts,
and sidestep the algorithm in the process.
Domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
Yeah, it's crazy, Lynn.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one.
Nope, Americans will pay
Other countries
that.
have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
You will pay for those tariffs. You will pay for those tariffs. Historically and economically speaking, you will pay for them.
Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families.
Most of which
ever seen anything like it.
Most of which is probably brought in by the CIA.
Subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced
that's your cue, cameraman.
$500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market. announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Yeah, ain't nobody talking about that report right there. Nobody's talking about bears. Nobody. Let's just forget it ever
And
happened.
we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Pirate Justin just bought a coffee. Thank you for that, Pirate Justin.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too.
Thank you, Michael T., for the Cash App.
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama.
Heartstrings.
Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children.
Exploiting emotion. Exploiting human emotion. I hate when politicians do this. I hate when people participate in this kind of manipulation.
Thank you, Jeff.
Mental manipulation. That's all it is.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Yeah, most people do follow and fall for that exploitation. And I don't know if you call it a weakness, but it's definitely something that political parasites exploit constantly. And it works.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much.
Think about it. Eggs are up 300%, guys. 300%.
Thank you.
Just from a couple months ago.
And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities.
He pointed at the Democrats.
All throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
You want to go after criminals, enter Washington. Oh, that's right. You are in Washington's District of Criminals, and you are the criminals.
And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to.
Yeah, exactly. There's Pam Bondi. Where are the Epstein files? Where are they? Where are the Epstein videos?
22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
Yeah, look what Michael said there. People like to forget that. Team MAGA doesn't want to bring that up ever.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
That's majoring in the minors. All you got to do is disincentivize them and then help Americans at home. That's all you got to do.
And our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Look at this. Look at this frickin' high school pep rally, man. It's so pathetic and embarrassing. Unbelievable. It's 2025 and we still believe these political parasites are there for our best interests.
Thank you.
Boy.
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America.
Yeah, that's it. I'm jealous that I'm not part of the show.
But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are two illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
God, he'd be the most popular president on the face of the earth if he ended the... I'm going to make an announcement. Here's my executive order to terminate the income tax, to abolish the IRS. Why won't he do that? Because he's working for the Zio International Banking Cartel. That's why. Exactly, delete laws. He's just a showman.
Thank you very much. All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
Well, he's usurping Congress with Doge, so why not usurp the 16th Amendment? Why not just executive order everything? He would have the popular vote of the people.
In the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took, and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
I like what somebody said in the room, labeled the IRS a domestic terror organization.
5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Oh, here we go. I wonder if he's going to talk about federalized police immunity. Let's see.
In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions
come on, cameraman.
seized enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi.
They're all
Good luck.
dropping the
So
ball.
important. Going to do a great job.
I want to show you guys
Cash,
something.
thank you.
Check
Thank
this out.
you, Cash.
The Democrats tonight during the State of the Union.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
Yeah, Pam Bondi is a horrible, horrible liar. Did you see her today on Sean Hannity? Just
1 year ago, this 31-year-old New York police officer, Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer,
what's up, Chuck?
was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you.
Diller was not a hero. Not a hero, guys. Look into that story. They always paint these guys out to be heroes. They're not. Not a hero.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Whoa. Did you guys hear that? Whoa. Screw that. 1:53, hour and 53.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
My God, this is crazy.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police.
Oh,
His
God.
name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Oh. Oh, my God. No, no, no. No, this is horrible. So if a cop terrorizes you as a road pirate on the side of the road and you defend yourself as an American, you're subject to the death penalty? Holy freaking God. This is horrible. Oh my God. Police propaganda to the hilt right here. Exploiting little kids. Oh my God. This is horrible. This is horrible.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
I hate this. This is next level satanic propaganda, if you want to put it like that. This is next level. Holy.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
This is so freaking ridiculous. This is Hitler level pro-police propaganda psychological operations off the freaking charts, dialed up to 11, man. Yes, this is nauseating. What the actual frickin' steen. Holy sh! Oh my God. Do you understand? You don't just need boots or hip waders for the BS that's floating around here. You need full-on scuba gear, under the ocean scuba gear.
DJ.
Holy.
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
It is easier to deceive the masses than convince them that they've been deceived. Look at a lifelong supporter of the Clintons. There you go. Just came out the other day. We got to have the measles VAXX from the Health and Human Services Director. Pro-Isra HE double hockey sticks. Disgusting.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget.
Wow.
Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36, think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
Yeah, it is very hard to listen to this.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
That should never have been a possibility to begin with.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
Finally, he said something I agree with. Yeah, don't let anybody mess with your brains, kids.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, but it's also
we feel so much better for it, don't we?
It's a pre-planned wedge issue. It's a shallow wedge issue is what it is.
Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference. And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
So he can become a military industrial complex indoctrinated slaverino. Applauding order followers. That's what we got here.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
This is a hats off and a bowing down to the military, the evil military industrial complex, guys. A glorification of war and death. That's what this is. Make no mistake about it. That's what this is.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Did you hear what he just said?
Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim? Right?
The Golden Shower missile defense
Thank you,
system.
but it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
Oh, another head nod to the military industrial complex, which means a higher budget for them.
For that purpose, I am announcing tonight
here we
that
go.
we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much. But we're going to make them very fast, very soon.
A new Office of
We'll have a
Shipbuilding.
huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
Oh, just stick around. He's about to just bow down and lick the you-know-whats of Israel. He's just warming up.
Yesterday, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
We'll doze
The
on it.
Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
We're going to cut government spending by increasing the coffers of government and creating government departments.
Now we have Marco Rubio.
Little
in charge.
Marco.
Good luck, Marco.
Little Marco Rubio.
Now,
Marco calls him a con man.
We know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job.
Oh, my God.
Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you.
Little
He's
Marco
doing a great
Rubio.
job.
Little Marco gets a hat tip from the con man.
And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Oh,
We
God.
strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Oh, I thought he was going to say the top terrorist from the IRS. I'm sorry. I was being hopeful. The gulf of stupidity. Wow.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight.
Stephen,
Just
come
spoke to
on.
them on the phone. We had a
Hang
big
around,
call.
Stephen.
Every one of them called, and
Don't you leave, Stephen.
on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Tell us how much you love ISRA HE double hockey sticks. Bow down, Trump. Bow down.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East.
A lot of money
Rough
going over
neighborhood,
there.
actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Elizabeth Warren shout out there. Pocahontas says yes.
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Trump dropped more bombs than Obama. More bombs, more drones, more killing than Obama.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Fact. Look at the air power summary from the Pentagon.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight. To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Hey, welcome back. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky.
Put a 1 in the room if you believe the official story on that.
Tor was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father.
A 2 in the room if you don't buy the official story on that.
When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their two beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
It's amazing how they do not want you to believe what your eyes see. There is no hole in that ear. Nowhere. I don't know what happened, but I'm pretty sure it's not what happened. The official story is not what happened. It's crazy how people will just believe anything because the government told them to believe it. Mainstream, fake stream, CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra Media tells you to believe the official story of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his...
That's a perfect ear, by the way.
He's right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on.
Oh, God.
Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you.
It's a miracle ear. It's a beautiful ear. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. WWE. Oh, God.
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country.
Is he winding down?
Because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists,
Gave us the village people.
World, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
God. What a waste of resources, man. Wow. Oh my God. I'd rather go to Jupiter. I mean, to get people to clap for that, the psychological operation of the propaganda is complete.
And through it all, we're going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
While people are dying and homeless in America, we're going to send people to Mars. Damn.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America.
Wow. Let's see what Benny says about this. What are you saying, Benny? What's Benny saying? Oh, are they behind? Oh, they're way behind. Benny's cast is behind. I want to see what.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible.
Oh, he's behind. Wow, we were ahead. I want to see what the rightist media is saying. The rightist cuck machine. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see what Tim Pool's saying. Let's see. Tim Young. Tim Pool's got 100,000 people. He must be a very, very influential. Why are their lives?
Great chat. Don't forget to like this stream. One like equals one fight.
Hold on. Let's see what Alex Jones is saying.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, it's like outside of policy, the left has become completely irrelevant. There's no, I mean, yeah, oh, Trump's limping. He's got a fake. I mean, it's just complete garbage. But I really do look forward to the next 4 years.
Oh my
and
God.
There are a lot of reasons to do so. And if we can release the American potential, then everything Trump said there in closing is very real and very true. And I think that that's kind of the untold story that maybe Americans are finally starting to realize. And Doge is.
My God, let's see what Tim Pool's saying.
Turned off.
I'm back. Temperature?
On too long?
Whoa. Is it cooled off? Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, these are the cool kids on the block. Let's see what the Daily Wire is saying.
Can't agree in this country that is a good thing.
Yeah.
We have nothing in common. We have nothing that we can agree on. And the Democrats would not stand up. Many of them would not even applaud a little kid fighting cancer. You know,
it's amazing.
These are sick people.
It was an extraordinary speech.
Oh my God.
And, you know, yeah, you can say it was too long. Trump tends to do that.
Guys, according to.
See that right there? That diffuses critical thinking, guys. It is a strategic political move to have a kid who's fighting cancer get up there. And if anybody says any word of criticism about how he was used, you're automatically a Democratic retard. I mean, what's wrong with you? God, these people. That's what the left versus right paradigm lie does to people. It actually disconnects any hope, any semblance, any thread of critical thinking that you might have had and throws it out the window. It becomes non-existent because now you can't say that. You can't go there. You can't support that right there. You can't criticize that. You can't use your logical critical thinking to disagree with that, or else you're on the other team. You're obviously on the other team. And it's this false dichotomy that they give you.
Thinking that, look, in the end, the proof is in the pudding. He's going to have to pull it off.
These people are so smug. Let's hear it.
State of the Union.
Here we go.
So thank you all so much for hanging out with us as we watch live. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So
all right, they're closing up shop. let's see what Brandon Tatum is saying.
When people
here.
are still joining. Just so you know, you get 30% off the store if you're a Tatum Squad member.
God.
You get 40% off if you're a Tatum.
Let's see. Luke Radowski, what's he saying?
Don't know what that is. And sorry, but we are not for sale here. We appreciate all your super chats. I'm going to go into the chat room for the members to see if you guys
All right. Well, I just wanted to see what these people are saying. Let's see. What's Alex Stein saying? These are all people who are
start thinking about some ideas on how we can at least get some attention on Nico. Not that they don't already have enough attention.
I don't know. I want to hear them offer commentary on what they heard, because man, it's a disturbing thing when you've got people who have fallen prey to something so easy to recognize, and that is the political parasitic propaganda that is constantly going on out of Washington's District of Criminals. Yes, it is good to ferret out and root out waste, fraud, and abuse. That is a good thing. But we've known this for decades. We've known for decades that the federal government is out of control. Just one day before 9/11, how much did they say was missing from the Pentagon coffers? $2.3 trillion that couldn't be tracked. It couldn't be traced. We don't know where it went. That's just one example. There are trillions, tens of trillions of dollars that have gone unspoken for, unaccounted for. And that's money that they stole from you to give to other people. It's this great power and wealth transfer. Well, if the problem is the American government, and we've identified waste, fraud, and abuse, then where are the arrests? If you can track down the expenditures, then you can track down the people who spent it. The problem is the people who endorsed it and put their seal of approval on it are congressmen and senators who are elected officials. So basically, that's the problem with voting. You vote somebody into office and then they go, well, you voted for me. You voted for this. And then you have all these people going, no, I didn't vote for that. I'm just a one-issue voter. The only reason I voted for Donald Trump is because I think he can pardon Julian Assange, for example. There's some people in 2016 who voted for Donald Trump simply because they believed that he would put Hillary Clinton in jail. And then he turned around. You know what Donald Trump actually said? He said he went out of his way to protect her. People don't understand this, but I went out of my way to protect her, because how would it look if an American president arrested the former first lady of a former American president? That wouldn't look very good, but you said you would jail her, and you've got the reason to jail her. I'm sure you, as the president of the United States, can dig up plenty of evidence on which to build a case against her so you can rightly jail her, and you didn't do it. And Julian Assange, for all intents and purposes, at least on this side of the veil, we used WikiLeaks to help him overcome and prevail against Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. And then when Trump becomes president, WikiLeaks, I don't know anything about WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Every time you got off the Trump plane, you were campaigning, you couldn't say enough good things about WikiLeaks. Have you ever heard of WikiLeaks? Everybody cheers. And then he asked a question. He has asked a question in the Oval Office. What about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks? I don't know much about WikiLeaks. And he will turn his back on people, and he won't give a pardon to people who deserve a pardon. Julian Assange, Bradley / Chelsea Manning, Julian Assange. No pardons for those guys. And then he gives a token pardon to Ross Ulbricht, which is good. But holy crud, we are so knee deep and waist deep and body deep in the BS being slung from Washington's District of Criminals. It's so difficult to keep track of all the BS being slung. Thank you, Jack. Can't we all just smoke them on? Hilarious, man. I appreciate it. Thanks. Let me go real quick. I'm going to go over the super chats, give you guys a shout out, and then I've got a couple more things to say, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see I don't know where we ended up on the scoreboard, so to speak. We're at 1.9 thousand. I think we got as high as 1.9 thousand, and that's where we're at right now on the X platform scoreboard, which I don't think I've ever been higher. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. And I appreciate everybody contributing to the live stream Thank you to everybody who takes the time to subscribe. A lot of you said that you would be willing to become a member. If you didn't hear the question, if you are interested in becoming a member, I'll try to set up the memberships on this channel sometime this week. If you'd rather give and sidestep the usurious 30 to 40% that YouTube takes, you can do the Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon or Cash App. But back to Shamil, I really appreciate it. Lisa Gordon, Murphy, Cesario, and I've already read all of your comments, so I appreciate it. Murphy, Cesario again, Murphy again, Mike Hunt. You made me say it, didn't you? Mike, you made me say it, didn't you? Jack, Wes. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about this name right here? I did a video. I think it was on was it on the Here's the Deal channel? Yeah, I think it was. And I played a clip from Porky's, and that video was demonetized because of a 2-second clip where they said, I'm looking for Mike, you know what? Pretty interesting how censorship works. And, somebody else was criticizing me, and that's fine, criticizing me for engaging in censorship on my channel. Now, I do self-censor, but I don't stop the message from getting out. I dodge around the algorithms and I say what needs to be said, and people with half a brain will get what I say. Like when I say Trump bows down to and is owned by ISRA, HE double hockey sticks. Well, I've sidestepped the algorithm, but the message went right through, did it? So is that really censorship, or is it just wisely navigating around the landmines of censorship? So thanks, Jack. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Murphy, again. Mike Cucumber, Cheryl, NGA Brett, Chad Firkins, Mike H again, delete laws. Thank you, man. Josiah Young, I know who you are. I know who Josiah Young is. Jack, Cody, Bacchus Shamil, Welsh, and Jack again. So I appreciate you guys making this live stream happen and keeping the lights on. But I do want to say, let me just wrap it up by saying politics is nothing more, nothing less than the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people like you and me. And they really want to dupe us. They want to pull the wool over our eyes. It's like Lucy with the football, and Charlie Brown says, okay, maybe just this one time, Lucy is not going to pull the ball away. And she does it every single time. You know she's going to do it. She's done it 1,000 times in the past. You have a good idea she's going to do it again. And yet you just hope against hope that she's going to be a team player this time. And she's not. And that's metaphorical of politics, isn't it? They will tell you, they will promise you the moon. And in this case, they will promise you Mars. They're promising you Mars. Do you think they're really going to deliver on that? Now, what they will deliver on that is extracting more money from the American tax cattle so that they can fund their project to Mars while the corporate elitists get rich. And these are they self-made billionaires? Can you really say you're a self-made billionaire when you're basically a welfare hoe? Can you really say you're a self-made billionaire? No, you can't. So it's the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Please rule me, Donald Trump. Rule me, Kamala Harris. Rule me, Barack Obama. I don't want to be ruled by your guy. I want to be ruled by my guy. And that's where we got a problem, man. That's where we got to grow up. And we've got to be, thanks, what's the matter, you? We got to grow up. We got to stop being like kids. We got to stop thinking like children. We have to put on our big boy pants and big girl pants, and we need to start thinking our way out of this thing. And the last thing, if the problem with the world is that there are evil people, then probably the last thing that you want to do is put those evil people in charge of the rest of us. Does anybody have a higher claim over your life and property than you? The answer, if you're sober-minded, if you're not insane, if you're not crazy, the answer is no. Nobody's got a higher claim over your life and property than you. Is it ever right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong? No, you know as well as I do, it is not right to do that. And yet that is what the government is. That's what government agents do. They initiate unjust force and violence against you, claiming your wealth, which is claiming the product of your time and laboring energies. And isn't that really what the IRS does? So they're going to extract wealth from you by extortion with the, implied threat of force with the government gun, and make you do something you don't want to do and give up the wealth that you've gone out to earn. They didn't build your business. They didn't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They weren't with you when you punch the clock, but they're there to stick their hands in your pockets. How just is that? And when you build a system on that kind of injustice, what do you expect when the wolves take control of the hen house? And that's what we are. We're a bunch of dumb cluck chickens in the hen house of life. And we are appointing and electing. It's really a selection process, but we're electing to have the wolf. We want Wolf A to rule over us. We do not want Wolf B. I want the red wolf to rule over me. Yeah, that guy with the sharp teeth and the sharp claws. I want Wolf Red to rule me. I don't want Wolf Blue to rule me. And then the insane people on the other side are saying, no, I want Blue Wolf to rule me. I don't want Red Wolf. So everybody's calling, all the chickens in the coop, the Republican chickens and the Democrat chickens are calling for their wolf to rule the rest of us. And you know what I really hate? When they get up on Fox News or the Counterfeit News Network or NBC, which is nothing but crap, and ABC, which is always broadcasting crap. What I hate is when they say, well, the American people voted for this guy. The American people let their voices heard. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. The American people let their voices be heard. And the reason this guy's in office is because of you Americans. Well, I'm an American and he's not in office because of me. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Biden. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for a third-party representative who's going to try to take my money. You know why? Because I don't want to be a slave on the plantation. But unfortunately, here we are because all the other slaves think, hey, it's a good idea to vote for a new plantation master this year because I think things will be different this time. I think our national debt will decrease this time, and it always increases. I think the military-industrial complex will experience major cutbacks, and it always increases. I think the value of my dollar will be strengthened this time, and it always weakens, always, every single time. And if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat history. And here's where we are. We are dogs chasing our tails, doing the same things over and over, expecting a different result, and calling ourselves smart, wise, intelligent, in tune with the life force. It's just disgusting. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon. Thank you for joining me. This was nothing but a Shiite show, in my opinion. Oh, here's Benny Johnson. Let's see.
Very, very excited to have brought you.
Let's see what Benny's.
Two cabinet secretaries.
Benny's talking.
I don't know how, like clearly a shape-shifting transportation device, Brooke Rollins, who was live on the stream and then on the floor.
God, these people are just terrible. I just can't even listen to it. So thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, share this. Thank you for everybody who supported this channel and this live stream by calling out in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Jennifer's here. Asil's here. Richard, Memory Man. Scott says, fly me to the moon. Mandatory's here. Real Assistant. Thank you, guys. Patricia, Backschmill, Brian. I saw Delete Laws was in here. Rami, God of F. Neutral. So yeah, guys, I'll try to set up the membership thing. Thanks for supporting the channel. It is now and will always be eternal vigilance and indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. I got an idea. Let's stop securing our own oppression and let's start today. I will see you guys in the next live stream. Take care.